Here we go. California.
Episode.
All right, that's it. Everyone's tuned out.
Yeah, exactly. You better have edited out the bit where I screamed, because that'd be the most annoying thing to start a podcast with, wouldn't it? It'd be pretty annoying.
For sure. Do it every week though, really. So I let people kind of skip the first 15 seconds. Like, it'll just be Ollie and Davey playing the drums or something on the table. It's so annoying.
It is annoying, isn't it?
But we've not got Benny here tapping away in the background there on his keyboard, so we're all good for people.
Yeah, but only we can hear. Only we can hear that. They can't hear it, right?
No, it comes through.
Oh. He's just on Facebook.
It's there, and the phone buzzing.
How are you, dude?
Mate, I'm doing great, thank you. Yeah, I'm good. I had a bit of a strange day actually today. So today is Sunday when we're recording this. Yeah. Just had a bit of a went out for dinner last night, Emma and I, and came back quite late. So just had a chill day today. I was planning to get on the bike, but it didn't happen. So had one of those days, just pottering around the house, getting some stuff ready for going to this trade show.
Nice.
In a couple of days. Well, tomorrow. So anyway, so check this out. So I'm tidying the house, doing my thing. At the bottom of my garden, we have this river which runs past.
Yeah.
And I often go down there. I leave some seeds for the birds. I put some old vegetables down there, just stuff that things can eat and sort of keep the habitat blossoming, so to speak.
Helping them
so
out.
I've walked down there. Yeah, walked down there. In fact, all I did was peer over the fence to look at the river, and it is full of plastic.
What?
And I was pissed off, dude.
Why?
I was pissed off.
What do you mean plastic, anyway?
So where this river is, which runs past our house, there's a bridge just a little bit further up, and unfortunately people use it as a bit of a dumping site sometimes. So they'll pull up, because the road goes over it, it's a bridge, so the road goes over it, they'll pull up, they'll empty some shit into the river and just carry on driving. And it happens probably too many times, really. At least once a month. A good one, like a big, like...
You see someone litter, it's fucking unbelievable to me.
Yeah, it's so shit. So anyway, I'm never. So there's all this plastic out in the water, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, I can kind of recognise, that's a fork guard off a motocross bike, and I kept looking, I'm like, that's a rear fender, that's the front mud guard. And obviously they've either stolen some bikes.
Right, yeah.
So I'm like, right, okay. Put my... former motocross head on. I'm like, right, bikes are stolen, call the police. So I called 101, as you do. It's not really an emergency. And I said, look, the river at the bottom of my garden is full of motocross plastics.
Yeah.
Usually this means something's been stolen. They've taken the plastics off, so you can't recognise what it is, and they're going to probably ride them around, whatever. The woman on the phone, bless her, she's like, okay, right, what do you mean plastics? I'm like, right, it's like on motocross bikes, you've got like fenders, you've got, this, that, and the other. And when they're stolen, people take them off, they take the stickers off, and they get rid of the evidence. So something's probably been stolen. So in the meantime, I put a few things up on Facebook, in like local Facebook group.
Yeah.
Anyone had a motocross bike stolen. It looks like there's a Husqvarna, a Suzuki, a KTM. There's a lot of plastics, dude, like in the river. And anyway, woman on the phone says, okay, right, we'll send an officer around to come and help you clear it up. All right, cool. It's all good. The river's pretty high. It comes up to like your knees, and it's got quite a lot of turbulence. So it's not an easy thing to go into the river every month
not with
and
not
clear
with a
it
bad
out.
record with water as well.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's in the back of my mind. I'm thinking...
The heli apart.
So... Two police officers come round. So at the bottom of my garden, like I said, there's a little cutaway in the fence which I've made, and you sort of squeeze through and you can go down to the river. The two police officers couldn't fit through the fence, so that was our first problem. So it was a bit awkward. I was like, "Go on, you get through there, like we'll get down." Couldn't fit through.
No.
Kind of awkward.
Yeah, that is awkward. Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, all right."
No,
I said, well, it's probably just a job for myself, let's be honest with you. I'll go down there and figure it out this afternoon. You guys can go do something else, whatever it is that you guys do.
Hit the donut store. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. I used to eat donuts and not chase people. But yeah, it's just weird. So I've ended up getting all this plastics out of the river. Dude, there's fenders off. Honestly, KTM, Husqvarna, Suzuki, and some blue stuff, but it didn't look like Yamaha. I think it was like a aftermarket kit that was blue.
Interesting.
Rad shrouds, rear fenders, fork guards.
There's no incriminating graphics or like Cuzzy logos or anything.
No, all been taken off. Yeah, because obviously, I said that to him. I said, if there's a number board, you'll probably have a race number, or you can find out the name. They'll have, AJ whatever on the front of it. But yeah, didn't not found anything yet. But it's a horrible afternoon, man. It's not the nicest river, sort of up to your ankle, up to your knees in cold water. It's all really rough and broken glass, and I did, but then they just filled with water, so it's like,
that's not the best.
Might as well just go barefoot.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go. Anyway, boring story, but kind of weird afternoon, really.
Oh, that sucks.
And now our blue bin's full of frigging motocross plastics.
Yeah, that is annoying.
So
you reckon they just stripped them off and then chucked them in the river?
It looks like. Well, that's what I'd say. Like I said, this little bit here, it's a bit of a dumping ground for people sometimes. There's often building materials thrown in and just general shit, and it's so annoying because it's literally at the bottom of our garden, so I have to go down there.
It could be nice,
clean it out. Could be nice, and it is nice in summer when there's not much water and it's just trickling through. It's lovely. It's really, really nice, and it's a nice place to sit and have a coffee in the morning. So I try and keep it nice. So it's just disappointing, mate, more than anything.
You're not angry,
Scumbags.
you're disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not angry. I'm just really disappointed at people that I had to spend an hour this afternoon wet through getting plastic out.
I mean, I've actually literally just got in from a ride, actually, so I can't really complain. But I did have a fat crash, so I'm with you. It wasn't the best afternoon. Yeah, I've just tumble dried myself and then turned up, and I'm doing the podcast.
Oh wow! You hurt, or has it not kicked in yet?
No, I think I'm all good. Okay. I just didn't look before I
black out. Then
you know what I mean. No, I didn't hit my head. I don't think. I don't know.
Got delayed concussion.
Happened pretty fast. They do happen fast, don't they? Yeah. What can you do?
Yeah, they do happen fast. Hey, what I had yesterday, and obviously I want to talk a lot about your holiday. And a few other little bits that I've seen around in the news. The holiday. But I had my first experience yesterday, and no shade on anyone for this. It was my fault. It's something we've spoke about a lot on the podcast. So I did a little photo shoot for the eyewear brand that I work for.
Yeah.
In a really beautiful, you might have seen it, part of the world. It's in the Peak District, and there's a trail which sort of comes down in front of a reservoir. It's stunning, dude. And I never really ride up there. I used to ride there a lot when I was young. So I think the last time
you did really, really beautiful.
Yeah. So the last time I rode that was probably about 15 years ago, and it's not even far away. It's about 20 minutes away, but one reason or another, it's not really a loop to get there, and if it is a loop, it's a big loop. So we went there because it was scenic, and it's good just for a few shots. So we're up there doing some photos and stuff, and with Jim Topless. Shout out Jim Topless. I know he listens to the podcast. So we're up there doing that, and I was like, fuck, the light's beautiful. I've got my GoPro with me. I'll go up to the top and I'll just do a full sort of run, and it'll look sick. So as you do, went up there, GoPro on, took some photos, did a run, then maybe stupidly, probably is stupid to be fair, posted it on social media, and then got a little bit of backlash, a little bit of.
Did you what for revealing a spot?
Yeah,
it's tough, isn't it? It's tough.
It is tough, dude. Because for me, it was more of I wasn't doing it to be like, look at this, everyone come and ride it. I was a bit more like, look at it. I don't know. I'm sort of torn. Was I? I don't think so. I just thought it's beautiful. It's such a nice spot. I've not ridden it for so long. It's kind of cool to sort of document going and riding it again, I guess, in a weird kind of way. I can sort of see, some of the hatred. Not hatred, but some of the issues. I straight away got DMs coming in. Where's that, dude? Where is it? I want to ride that. Where is it? And then there's a few comments of people saying sort of like, where is it?
People want to show that they know where it is as well. So then
people are then saying, oh, it's here. It's above this. Exactly. So I was like, annoyingly, I posted it. We then went out for dinner. So I got back to my phone about 2.5, 3 hours later, and I seen all the comments, and I seen it had like quite a lot of views as well. And I was like,
mate, it's
gonna have to be that guy and take it down.
Hard,
You're gonna have to just be that guy.
How hard is it? How annoying is it that you can't just? This is the problem. Like you end up unable to use it normally, because normally it'd be just fun to post. Like if you're just hyped on a trail you've just ridden. You're just fucking running on hype. You're just like, oh, that's the best.
Yeah, exactly. And I really was. Like, I really was.
You can no longer do that. And like, we I guess we have talked about it a lot, so we probably shouldn't talk about it more.
We have, but it's it is a thing, and I think as it's growing, being a influencer, whatever, YouTuber, I guess, for certain people that we know who have been on the podcast that are friends of the podcast, where does it stop? Like, how do you? That's your thing. I don't know. I'm really torn. Like, can you only now film bike park stuff?
Pretty much, yeah.
Or,
it's so annoying because it's like, like when we talk about it, I always think afterwards. You get someone messages, and they're just like, "Oh, look, I just want to share it with my family," and I fully understand that. But at a certain point, if you are using social media, at a certain point it does change, and you can't use it normally. Like I talk like I don't understand using it normally, but it's because I can't do it anymore. Or
you don't do it normally.
No,
it's always been a businessy sort of work platform for
That's
you.
it, and it's a nice idea to do it normally, but it's just like, I don't know. It just
no,
doesn't
you can't. It's impossible.
No, but it doesn't end up working like that, does it? Ever? And it's the same. The same goes for anyone. Like even if you're like, ultimately, if you're like, let's say MB, they're a bike shop. Yeah, I've just been riding with those guys, so it's fresh off the mind. Like they're at the point now. Their following is big enough that they can't. They have to now not be like. They have to now act responsibly. Think about stuff a bit more. It's like, what do you mean responsibly? It's like loads of us have the password to it, and we're just fucking out riding our bikes. Like, it's not about what we're putting out, but it is. It's like a responsibility. It's so annoying.
It is, and it's funny, isn't it? Because I don't think it necessarily even means... It's not necessarily like if you've got a big platform or not. Like,
no.
You could have a couple of hundred followers and you barely ride, and you post something and it falls into some weird algorithm, and then next thing you know, it's had 1 million views, and you're just like, I've just outed this trail that, it shouldn't have maybe... I don't know, it shouldn't have made...
But so much
it's very
stuff
weird.
Is fine in a vacuum, isn't it? So much stuff is like... Cool. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you saw... Maybe this is a really bad example. I probably shouldn't talk about it. Oh, fuck. I've begun, so I'm going to carry on.
Yes, let's do
Eddie and the Vanzacks did that calendar. Did you see it?
No, because we mentioned it on here, and I remember a day or so after we spoke about it, I thought, I'd go look at it, and I couldn't find it.
Well, you won't be able to now because it's been taken down. But it was just a bit. It's like a.
That's why.
It's like they're poking fun at themselves. It's not about. So basically, it's all of those boys posing with like chicks and like in stupid clothes and all of that. It's like the joke is it's like a take on an old school calendar. That's like the joke. Yeah. But then it gets like all of the hatred. And equally, I understand the hatred, but it doesn't mean that anyone's. I don't know. I can't even talk about it. It's not done
maliciously. No. It's not. Yeah, it is difficult.
And then obviously Eddie has to take, like, all of them have to take it down, pretend it didn't happen. But ultimately, if I don't feel like there's many people out there that would, like, if you saw it being sold out the back of a car at a race, you wouldn't just laugh at it for what it is because it's a joke. If you know what I mean, but I suppose totally. It's different because obviously I'm a guy, so I can't. I don't know. I should shut the fuck up about it. But the danger is we end up shutting the fuck up about everything, and then what happens?
This is the
we
problem.
All fucking walk around like worried about everything, and I don't know. There's somewhere in between. I haven't worked it out yet. I feel like I feel like you should be the whole time.
Yeah, I do totally, and it's and especially with this and what we do, We've had it I've had it a few times, definitely, where people are like, I can't believe you said that. And you're like, if I'm that careful, we're not going to be able to talk about anything ever.
And certain things are...
We had a few things, we did one and we called it a super serious episode a while ago. And that, like, I don't know, man. It's interesting because, like, what should we talk about? Like, can we just talk about dick jokes? Exactly. Or probably not, because that's going to offend someone.
Knows, dude. Fuck knows. It's like... Yeah, I don't know. I'm not being like poor me in any way at all. But I do think it's a shame that, you're at the gym and you walk around. I'd walk around looking at the floor and stuff, and I don't almost want to interact with people in like sometimes when I feel like it's like there's just an air of confrontation sometimes between people and things. And
do you think you get more pressure because you have a responsibility not just in mountain biking, but you've got you're a personality sort of
or whatever
thing, that people would easily like be able to hunt you out, like, who is this guy? Okay, wow, he's got a big following, wow, he's got sponsors, we can really fucking this guy. you know,
I think you're on the edge of you sort of anyone who's like relying on it for their income's like you're only as good as how you control your tongue, dude. You've got to control your tongue. That's all your worth is. Because if you step out of line, everyone says the wrong thing every now and then, and it's just a matter of I do think morally I try to be good the whole time, and I have all my life. So I sort of like I don't mind, and when I fuck up, I'm open to hearing that I fucked up. That's what I kind of think. But that's conversation.
Yeah.
That doesn't. You won't even get to that point.
That's just learning from other people.
You won't even get to that point if everyone's just like shitting themselves, looking at the floor. Like it's good to talk about stuff, but then this is how I talk about stuff now. You know, like I'm shitting myself. I'm talking about fucking Eddie posing in a calendar with a load of chicks in his pants. It's like it's not a thing, but instead it's made me talk weird about it, hasn't it? So.
Yeah, it is. It's weird, dude. It's weird how we do tread on eggshells a little bit. It is weird. But ultimately, it's like, if you look at the culture and how we live now and what makes things grow and go viral, it's confrontation. It's saying something outlandish. I mean, how many people target people like a Joe Rogan and say something ridiculous about him just because it's going to get eyes on it? It's going to get retweets and shares, and you might not even necessarily believe that thing, but you're doing it because you want the eyes on you want your platform to grow, and like that's this weird thing that's happening now where, you know, if we wanted a viral YouTube video, you could probably do it quite easily if you just spoke shit about someone. Like if we just sort of said something, we could have done it before about team rumors. In a way, you could be like, this is happening, and you blow it up before it's even out. But you don't want to be that guy with that, and you don't want to be that guy, you know, with anything. I think
really like... totally. I think now it's more apparent than ever that it's like fucking picking a side, and what I never want to do is that. I want to be in the middle, taking things from everyone, you know, like because I'm not saying you don't. Yeah, just at the minute, more than ever, everything feels like you've got to pick a side, and you've got to have this standpoint and this fucking thing that you're shouting about, and I'm this, I'm that, I'm better than you. And sometimes it is just better in the middle, and you just take bits from everyone and live a nice balance.
Ride your bike and chill, man.
Dude, but
just ride your bike and chill. There's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the time, and not getting too invested in anything else.
Exactly, yeah. Sunshine lollipops, you know what I mean? Let's make a t-shirt, Sunshine lollipops.
I like it.
It's not bad, is it?
No, I like that one.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I was fucking super confident this episode because I've been to America, so I was like, do you know what? I'm not going to write anything down, and now I'm thinking I should have written something down, because all I'm thinking about is Eddie's calendar now and how I wish he hadn't taken it.
So, did they buy these? Like, is there a stock of them somewhere?
Yeah, there's a stock of them. Yeah, you have to buy them probably on the dark web now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, listeners, drop Eddie a DM and pick up a calendar.
Yeah, there you go.
I think it might help him out.
Yeah, do that.
You know,
do that. Yeah,
it's not something you can roll over to next year and wait for.
Yeah, we've got a code. It's Ride Companion 20. You don't get any money off because we can't be seen to be making money off anything.
Yeah,
so
exploiting
women
and men.
So askew, we can't do it. So I went to the US of A, dude. I went to the US of A. I went to the land of the free. It was a last-minute trip I booked the night before I left, and it wasn't even that much money.
No, I know. You said 500 quid for a holiday to America.
Not much at all. Obviously, Bernie's already out there, so I went to join the Bernard Kerr training camp. And let me tell you, hanging out with Bernard Kerr is like a whirlwind anyway, before the training camp. Before you're training, it's like out of control ADHD madness.
I often watch Bernard's Instagram stories and think, this can't all be in one day.
Yeah, and it is.
You know, there's so many different two-wheel objects and four-wheel objects and drifting stuff.
It is all in one day. All you have to do is just, if you just wake up and then rush until you go to bed, then you can get it all done. But that's what you have to do. You have to rush the whole time. So I landed and I was straight into the Kerr program, which is fine by me. You know, I exist in the Kerr program a fair bit in normal everyday life anyway. So I landed from the airport straight to A1, which was quite sick.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Can you just tell me though, what's it like? Because people might be thinking right now about, okay, maybe I'll go catch a Supercross or maybe I'll go on holiday. What's flying like? What was the protocol? How much DNA did you have to give to some random company?
So
Like,
I had to do a test on the way out there, and then you have to fill in the locator forms. But otherwise, it's fine. You just have to wear a mask on the flight, which is quite a long time to be in a mask. And I don't condone this behaviour, but I knew that I was joining a whirlwind, so I have sleeping tablets, and I took one of them. And then I had really poor sleep. I think I slept through half of one film. Normally they knock me out. They're really gnarly ones. They're called Dormanoct. But there's no point in them unless you have to ride when you get to a spot, if you know what I mean. Which I do sometimes. Okay. So that's the only reason I take them. God, I sound like a right druggie, don't I?
Revived.
Yeah,
just pop them in there, mate. Get on the flight.
Well, I just don't like chemicals doing that because it's not real sleep. You know,
it's not a real sleep.
No, but if it means that you're safe on your bike, that's the thing I think. Because quite often when you arrive a place and then let's say you're filming, it's horrible. You're all like discombobulated, and then you're trying to do something, and so I try and
things aren't working properly.
But they're good. Anyway, I did.
Did you do that in Jamaica, by the way? Did you fly to Jamaica and ride? The same day.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Maybe the next day. Anyway, it happens quite often because you're not on your own time. You know, you're not like, let's check into the hotel. Let's try out the spa, check it out. It's never really like that. Bike trips are amazing, but they're not like that ever, you know? It's like, quickly, build up the bike. Or a lot of the time, like Madeira, for instance, you land at lunch, you drive to the top of the hill where you build up your bike. So, do you know what I mean? That's not like that's not like normal behaviour.
That's not normal.
No.
That's not holiday behaviour.
And then the filmer will ride down as you're building up your bike and sit on a spot, and then you know what I mean? It's like all super efficient. So I just arrived. It's
tough, isn't it, mate?
Got picked up by Bernie from the airport and went straight to A1. So I think I did a really long day. It's interesting right? So I looked this up. It's harder to come back. So it's harder to fly west to east than it is east to west. Right. Do you know why? Because I do.
Sunlight.
It's because of your circadian rhythm, so it's easier.
That's what I meant.
Okay, so you have. I think it's actually like circadian rhythm actually allows for 27 hours in a cycle, which is quite weird. But basically, all that means is if you stretch out a day, so don't sleep for as long as possible, it's easier than if you come back and then you have to force sleep. So you have to like advance your circadian rhythm.
Right. Okay.
It's quite a long way to go for 5 days, California.
It is. And what's the time difference? Is it 8 hours?
Which means when I'm going to sleep in the UK, you're waking up. So I know it's not as far as Australia, but it's nearly there, isn't it? It's
it's still 12, a trip. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow. So straight in.
So straight in. You know, you don't wake up and need a shit. It's not. You know, everything's topsy-turvy. You don't wake up needing a shit. You do stuff. You do crazy stuff like evening shits.
Yeah, the circadian rhythm and the poo rhythm.
The poo
rhythm's like
off.
Yeah.
Off.
Big
Completely
time
off.
Food's off.
Yeah.
Food. Thankfully, they have lots of drive-through places in California and stuff.
Do.
You can stop. You can. Yeah.
So
you can eat.
Exactly that. So when I was younger, we went to Supercross first night. That was unreal. It was really cool. Got to look around the pits.
Did you get any special treatment, man? Like, you know, going in there, Troy athlete, whatever, with Bernard as well, who was doing the whole thing with.
I don't know. I don't know what passes we got, but we got to be around the pits, which was cool. And obviously, Troy's there, and Troy has a team, so that was cool. But we didn't do any VIP stuff. The thing is, you sort of maybe we did. We were like trackside. But you actually don't want to be trackside. You want to be amongst it. You know, you want to be a bit higher up, and you want to be amongst it. So
you want to be in the bleachers, man.
Yeah, that's it.
I remember the first time Supercross came to Sheffield, I was young. I think it was like 98, 99 when I first went, and my dad was like, "Right, fucking Supercross, right, front row seats," and we literally sat and stared at a whoop section.
I mean, it's not far off what we
Too
were
low.
doing. Yeah,
too low.
Not far off.
Too low. Got to be up there in the bleachers.
You
got to actually see
from it, and then the subsequent. Controversy.
I did.
So what happened? There was a girl. I mean, I don't want to say that Supercross is redneck, but
no, but in the bleachers it is.
it is a little bit.
It is a little bit, dude. It's dirt bikes.
It's freaking dirt bikes. So.
So
yeah, what happened with her?
So yeah, I saw buttery stuff. If anyone doesn't watch that, just probably don't.
So the girl got her boobs out, and then another girl didn't like the fact that she got her boobs out, and then the crowd who liked the boobs threw drinks on the lady that didn't like the boobs. Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And they're very different people. Let's just say you could tell that one of them wasn't going to like that, and the other girl looked like the kind of girl to get her boobs out. Dude. Let's just say.
Oh, do you know what I had? Oh, you'll like this. I had fries in an Anaheim hat. Right, it's unbelievable. America's unbelievable, dude. I had nachos in this. It's a plastic hat, and I bought it back.
That's cool.
So you literally have a bucket of nachos with like fake plastic cheese on.
Oh, mate, the dream. Dude, I'm so jealous, actually, like, when you talk about it.
It was cool, it was cool.
I mean, I've been and done that a few times, don't get me wrong, but there is nothing like that feeling of walking into that stadium when it's midday and it's hot and you can smell the race fuel.
Yeah,
and
what
you can
crazy smell
hear
race
motors.
Fuel.
Nah, race fuel is a nice smell, man. I like that shit. They should make that as an aftershave for men, I think.
Yeah,
or women.
But it smells lower octane than normal fuel to me. Do you know what I mean? It smells less.
What, less chemically?
I don't know. Something about just good old-fashioned high octane
that V4.
fuel. What octane is race fuel? I wish Benny was there. He could look it up.
Know.
Let's look it up. I'll look it up. I used to be co-host. I used to be...
Yeah, I feel like it's 60-odd, something like that. I'm not sure.
60? That's well shit. 160.
Is it? Oh, 160. I don't know. I know there's a 6 in there. I don't know. I never could afford it, man.
What's it called? What's like an example?
Is it VP?
VP race fuel. Nice one. That did come up. I didn't know what it meant though. VP.
Blue drum. Yep.
Okay, that
smell, dude.
It's 120.
Oh, is it? There you go. 260s.
No, I think it's C16 or something.
Okay.
So yeah, it's 120 octane.
They have higher octane fuel anyway at the pump, don't they? Anyway, like
I think they have lower.
When I was there, lower.
I think it's lower, dude, because we have 97. Our premium is 97, and then the premium in America is 93. So that like their standard fuel is 81 because they got big engines. They can just put any old shit through it, like big V8s, you know. But I don't know.
There did used to be spots where you could get race gas on pump.
Could you? God.
Yeah, there was a petrol, gas station on the way out to Glamis where you could do that. You could stop and they had a VP thing. Of course
there was on the way out to Glamis.
Of course there was. Anyway.
Yeah, you spent a long time out there, eh? Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Where
I mean, enough time to. So I was sort of Paris.
Paris, where's that? Near Elsinore.
Yeah, so not far. Maybe like 20 minutes, I think, give or take from Elsinore. I mean, I might be off. My geography's pretty bad. So like around that sort of riverside, sort of Temecula sort of area. Yeah, but Paris was like traditionally a shithole. It was horrible. Right. It was very sort of run down. There's a famous raceway, Paris Raceway, but we used to the MX Heaven house where I used to live was just almost like in the hills as well. It's pretty cool, man. You could literally roll out the gate and just go right in the hills. It's amazing, dude. Yeah, I mean, I talk about it a lot on here.
They're quite like really big trucks in that area, don't they?
They do like big trucks in that area.
And big drinks as well. And also big burgers.
Trucks.
There's very big burgers. There's nothing that makes you feel so British, actually, than that area. It makes me feel like one of the in-betweeners, dog. It really does, yeah.
I'm toying with the idea of Vegas. I think Vegas could be
Supercross.
Cool to go and check that out.
Yeah, you should do it, dude. Yeah, that'd be well good.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe. I'd like to go over there. There's a lot of
why not,
people
dude?
I'd like to see. And
absolutely, yeah.
Stuff. Anyway.
I was there with...
I did spend a lot of time there, dude. So.
Yeah, long time as well, huh?
On and off. Like, it was, around 4 years, I think, in total. On, off. Come back for 6 months, and then I'd go again for 6 months.
Right, got you.
So you like quite a lot of time, really. Like,
but for moto.
Yeah, sort of. Enough time to, have, real friends, I guess, in some ways. Some actual friends out there and, real experiences. And, it's not just holiday mode. I think I actually got a bit of a taste of life there, and living and having to earn money and stuff like that.
Did you frequent Laguna Beach? May I ask?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Laguna Beach
I'm
is
gonna
like
guess
Hans Ray, Richie Schley, Brian Lopes, the Laguna Rads. It's like all of the It's like the mountain biking centre of SoCal, I would say.
Is it? Yeah, I know. Is that where Petey probably used to live as well?
Petey used to train there. Yeah. Loads of people used to go over and train there. And that's actually what I really liked about it, because that's all I used to watch. Didn't even watch it. Read it in a magazine. Steve Pete, Laguna Beach. Out there training. Yeah. TLD, all of that shit. Like Troy Lee's in Corona, just over the other side of the hill, kind of thing. It's just it is rad actually going over there and doing it all, because
what is it actually? I mean, I'm with you. Okay, so this is something I wanted to ask you. So that era, late 90s to late 2010s. Does that make any sense? Okay, it was amazing. Basically, pre-pandemic, pre-Trump. Let's just say it. It was amazing. I used to love it out there, but then I don't know. Has it changed? What is the vibe different? I mean, you've probably been there around that sort of time when I was going and stuff.
I get older and a bit
cool.
more. Yeah, I get older and a bit more British. I think a bit more jaded, a bit more British, and I absolutely love going to America. But it's become a bit. When I first went out there when I was a kid, I was just like, "Right, moving here, it's just better. It's way better. I want to move here." And it's tough to argue with a Southern California sunset. It's every single fucking day, dude. You turn up, you're going to see it. You wake up early enough, you're going to see the sunrise. It's like perfect the whole time. But there's something like it's like being in a cartoon for me. That's the only thing. That's the only best way I can explain it. I absolutely love it out there, but I feel very British and very much like in a cartoon.
Right. Okay. It's interesting because I remember obviously being there a lot and feeling like I fit in. I think, really, especially around that time in my life, I was very into the moto scene, and didn't really like that side of it in the UK. Yeah. But I really sort of fitted into that with the lifestyle and everything about it. I feel like I just sort of fell into it and I loved it. So I was very keen to move back there. I mean, it's quite a funny story actually about sort of just before Emma and I got together. I got out of my camper van business and didn't really sell anything, so I didn't own anything. But basically, I was just going to go to America and just sort of live there, and didn't have any plan other than where I used to sort of live, sort of with MX Heaven. A guy over there, Sam, was like, "Yeah, come over. I'll sort you a job. Just come, just get here." So I was ready to go, man. I told everyone, my friends knew. So our first date, mine and Emma's, second date, she came to my leaving party, but I didn't tell her. So we're like at this curry thing, all my friends are there. I had one friend who was moving to Canada anyway. I had another friend who was moving to New Zealand. And then I was moving back to America. And, everyone was sat there chatting. And then one friend, I guess, was like, "So when are you flying? What's going on?" And I was like, And I remember Emma being like, "Is this your leaving party you've invited me to?"
No.
It's like yeah, I'm going. I'm leaving in a couple of weeks, and then I never ended up going.
There you go.
A few things happened, and ended up staying here, and that's actually when Hook It started. I was like, "Fuck, I need to do something."
She kept you there, dude. Those first couple of weeks,
it's crazy.
Woo!
Yeah. Exactly, they were roasting. They were on fire.
And now,
crazy story, man. I was ready to go. I had no plans, just wanted to go and just get lost in the system, because I used to hear that all the time.
And now look at you, dude. You were going to be in Hollywood, and now you're in a fucking bog picking up moto plastics with your boots full of piss.
yeah, exactly. I was going to go live the moto dream, and now I'm just picking it out of a dirty river.
Oh, it's tough, isn't it? Because I really used to, when I was younger, I used to just every single place I went, I wanted to move. I'd just be like, I'd just come home and I'd just resent the place I lived. I was just like, fucking, it's shit, you go each place, you're like, oh God, Spain's sick, just the way they just like I'd only see the good things. I'd be like,
that's
they don't
holiday
give a fuck.
does that to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was living life on a holiday. And whereas now I think I'd probably struggle with the big trucks and the
really.
well, not struggle,
Just
or it's like something about it is a lovely place, and I'd love to go back again and again and again. I just think I couldn't live there. I think I can't put my finger on why. There's something nice about being...
I'm sort of keen to go back soon and just see what it's like more than anything. I went back again like just as Hook It started, I think, or maybe just a few weeks before I went back. I was like that. I can't remember, dude. My timeline's all over the place. I did go. I went just to help out at my friend's business, Ride California, and then came home, and that's when I was like, right, fuck it, I'm selling up and I'm moving. And I went. Yeah, it's probably 6 or 7 years ago now.
You should do it. You should go and do Vegas. That'd be sick. When is it?
Yeah, it would be good. May usually. Cool. It's usually May, isn't it? Beginning of May, Vegas Supercross.
Wicked. I mean, it's quite something, isn't it? The Supercross, it's amazing. Like you forget. Yeah. Because I've been to Anaheim one before, and I remember thinking, like, when it happened this time, I remembered thinking, fucking hell, yeah, I remember when it first happened. But the flamethrowers, like, you feel them in the stadium. It's a baseball stadium, dude. And you can feel the heat on your face from the finish line flamethrower things. It's insane. Wow. And then, again, the race fuel, like you already mentioned, like, it's such a distinctive smell, and it's, like, one that you'd never normally... And just the pressure, dude.
There is something about that place, dude, of that stadium. And for me, I always used to enjoy the practice more because it's a bit more chilled. You know, you could sit in the sun.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't as much of a show. If that makes sense, you could sort of really dial in on riders and see what they were doing. And I find that side of it more interesting sometimes. Of like, okay, how does Roxon come out, and you know, what's he doing through this rhythm before the main event, before you actually see what's going on, and. You know, and I think it's just always sort of fascinating to watch that side of things. Again, I was really lucky when I was out there to do like a press day a couple of times and stuff like that. And that was like really mind-blowing when they come out literally the first laps and hit everything. And you're just like,
fucking
what? What?
So
how
this one was interesting to me because we had a horse in the race. We had, do you know Kai Haza?
No, I've seen a lot of people talking about Kai though. So what's Kai's deal?
Kai's an FMX
let's give Kai some props.
Rider. He's the guy. This must get annoying being introduced by that like this, but he's the guy who did the nose bonk front flip. So he's like an insane FMX rider. He's like one of the best freestyle motocross riders in the world.
Okay, he's not English though.
No, German. Yeah,
he's German. Okay. Yeah. I noticed that like Win was tagging him on some stuff.
And he's good buddies with
might
Even
have done something
as well. Right.
Oh wow.
Anyway, he's always it's like a lifelong dream to line up at A1, and he did it. He made it to the main. He got knocked. He came off off the start in the first heat, but it was so cool to see him because he's obviously such a comfortable rider in the air. You know, like he's an FMX rider. It's not like he's grown up racing, so this is the right guy for the job kind of thing. He's really comfortable jumping and even with Kai, if he gets off rhythm, it just makes you realise how hard it is, and it makes it all the more impressive when you see Ken Roxon doing lap after lap like a robot. He's doing the same shit over and over again. And because Kai's as good as you can possibly be at jumping, fucking hell, dude. When he came off, he was just like. This was fucking funny in the Supercross race. He was just because he's really really dialed as an FMX rider. He's almost to the point where he's bored of it. Can you ever imagine being bored of doing 80-foot backflips? But he's to the point he's that dialed. He's bored. So he came off and he was joking about swallowing the fine for a finish line jump flip if he crashed out, and if it wasn't dangerous.
Yeah.
So he's come off, he's at the side of the track, he's like, fuck, this is in the heat race. Gets back on and starts lapping, and we're all just like, oh, no way. So we're out of the seats, running to the aisle. Like, I was filming with the dad cam because I honestly thought he was going to flip the finish line jump.
Yeah.
Just a big, he wasn't, he was just, he worked around the track doing 2-foot cans and knacks and stuff. And
did he really?
Sick. It was
that's cool, man. That's sick.
But yeah, well done, Kai, for completing Prey 1. Good on you.
Yeah. So is his plan to do more?
Is he
doing
was
the
going
whole
to do
series?
Oakland. He's unfortunately come off, fractured his heel the day after, or 2 days after A1. So gutted for him. It would have been really cool to see him. Because honestly, he said like, one of the biggest things was just knowing that he could do it and that he could do a lap that would qualify him. And his lap was like amazing. Way good enough to qualify him.
Yeah.
So he was really hyped for Oakland, but the big thing was Anaheim won. Obviously, you know, that's like the craziest thing.
Yeah. There's a few UK guys out there at the moment too. It's, Dylan Woodcock,
Right.
I think he won at Oakland. He won the LCQ.
Yeah, I saw.
He's a UK guy. There's a couple of Revs Kawasaki guys out there, I think, as well. I'm not sure if they're making the mains or making the night show or not, but I've seen there's a few
cool.
UK guys.
Yeah,
out
I
there.
was with Jordan Booker. And he's obviously. I'd love.
Former GP rider.
Yeah, like how cool would it be to get him? Like he's so talented on a moto. Like there's no like I don't know if you ever saw. Yeah, obviously you saw Bernie's like build up. You see Jordan doing stuff. It looks so annoyingly easy, and he can do such massive whips, and he can ride whoops, and like he should be able to ride a Supercross. But I think he's just.
Did it? Has it relit Bernard's fire to try again for a Prey one?
I don't. Do you know? I don't think so. He's riding out there, so they keep going to different tracks and like. Yeah, I don't think so. I think that was a one-off. It would have been good, wouldn't it? It would have been good.
Yeah, fuck it.
But you see,
it would have been really interesting.
People on track, and I appreciate these were really, really amazing riders, and it is dangerous. Okay, so if you think about people riding hardline, you don't have to ride together. But you see, some people make more mistakes than others, right? You see, you know what I mean. It's not. I'm not like knocking those people. I'm just saying some people make more mistakes than others. They're not like some people are just completely focused and completely ready for it. Those are the people that are contending for the win, really, aren't they? The difference in downhill is that one person's mistake won't take out another person. And when you see it when you see it on a Supercross track, it does make you realise you are like, fucking hell, you're like someone's life is in your hands. I don't know if you saw the Muskan and Mookie fight.
Yeah,
but like I agree. Like Mookie's like, dude, we got how many races have we got left, and you're doing moves that dangerous? Like, what are you doing?
It was aggressive.
Like, it's ridiculous. Super aggressive. Yeah.
I mean, I saw Daniel Blair does a really good it's called Blair's Breakdown. Right. He does before each race, so it's like the day before. And he talked to Marvin, and Marvin was like, well, he should have braked. He saw I was coming up the inside of him, and it was like, really? I don't really. I did.
I'm not a fan. Yeah, he's off.
Yeah, he's off. To me, that was just a takeout. It was just a straight takeout.
Absolutely. On a dude.
Yeah.
If I was built like a twiglet, I wouldn't be trying to take out fucking Malcolm Stewart.
No. NFL linebacker looking
he's a
at
strong
Malcolm
dude.
Stewart. I know.
Yeah. Amazing rider.
That's cool though, man. I'm glad you went.
Really cool.
Super
and
sick
to see
that you
like
went out there.
Superheroes. All of those people lining up as superheroes. Everyone is an amazing rider. But then when you see the level up, when you see what Ken can do lap after lap, when you see what Sexton can do lap after lap, when you see what all of those Anderson, Mookie, Muskan, all of them lap after lap are just perfection. Barcia over and over again, or if they're not perfection, they're near on, and it's so impressive.
It is impressive.
Like the pace,
it's super impressive. I think the more you do dial into it, it is impressive. But I feel like we're at that point with the downhill stuff as well these days. It's everyone's within a few seconds. It's perfection on a run. It's not out of shape.
No.
Especially that top tier. I think we need to get behind the Supercross rider, ride it hard. Like, let's really give this guy some props. And I thought, who could we choose? And I thought number 23, Chase Sexton.
I think
dialed. We need a horse in the race.
If there's anyone who was, actually, your pick was really, really dialed as well.
AP?
No, in the Christian Craig.
Oh, mate,
dialed.
I was riding Christian's dick. I've been riding Christian's dick for a while.
He put in the fastest time,
awesome.
250 or 450 in the qualies, I think.
Did he really?
So, yeah.
He looks just lap fucking
after
good
lap,
on that bike
he's
right now.
so dialed. And same for Sexton. They're both weirdly, to the untrained eye, to me, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but to me, they both know where. Like, they're at a point where they know they're exactly what's going on the entire time, so they can actually change it. You know what I mean? Like, someone who's dialed, they can change direction to whoops, they can change rhythms in a straight when there's a problem. Like, they're really, really...
Everything's clicking.
Everything's clicking, exactly. It's cool to see.
I had a feeling about Christian Craig. I don't know. He's a bit of a veteran now. Obviously, he's 30 years old. He's been in the sport for such a long time.
I wanted to ask you, actually.
I don't know.
For riders like that, like, when they have success in the lights, it doesn't... When they move up into the 450s, what is it that doesn't click when they move back to lights and then continue a career in lights? Like, I don't understand what it is.
Yeah,
it's really interesting.
I don't really know myself.
Because who did we have that did that? I don't know. We've had a few people who have done it over time, haven't we?
Well, I've gone back and forward a little bit. Yeah. Vince Freeze obviously is the biggest one at the moment. He's ridden 450s forever. He's probably older than Christian Craig. He's gone back down, but I think that's more of a team thing. Right. It was like, there's a slot here for you.
Just trying to get a seat.
There's a slot of literally just get a ride. And obviously for those guys, it's a living. You'll ride whatever's given you to some extent, won't you? If it's going to pay the bills.
Yeah, I'd love to know the difference.
But I don't know, man. That 450 class seems like a real jump up. And you see these guys win multiple championships, move up to 450.
How nuts
and it's
is
like
it that
nothing happens.
Yeah, how nuts is it that the times aren't that different? And like, I've heard from people, like, a 250 Supercross bike isn't much like what you get off the shelf. Like, it's not like power wise, what it puts out is a lot different to what you're riding and stuff.
I remember though, back with the 450s, this is going back, when I was out there, that they dial those back quite a lot.
Really?
Like, it was too much. Yeah. The kid I used to spanner for a little bit, Cammy, he used to dial it back quite a little bit.
So interesting.
It was too much.
I do agree. Like, it's not just like
it's a lot of
more
power.
is better. It isn't like
no.
Obviously, it's a stupid comparison, but when we were kids, we'd have mini bikes and XR50s, Z50s, all of these, and then gradually, obviously, people put 110s in, and then my friend Jake's a really talented motocross racer. He was always so quick, and he always kept the stock 50, but you're like, well, how can he be as quick as a 110 on a stock 50? But it's like,
just knew how to keep momentum going.
He's just better at it, and he's just carrying speed better. Like, it shouldn't be possible in theory, like, but you just make it.
I think that's interesting as well, with when you're there in the day and you can listen to the bikes and how different people ride. So you'll have someone who's a bit like Barcia, who's on the limiter quite a lot, especially on 250.
Holy fuck!
Yeah,
Barcia's bike just singing the whole
everything.
time. Yeah,
and then Roxanne's just literally probably two gears higher. Just literally, It's so weird.
Like, there's massive variance between riders, isn't there? Barcia's one of the liveliest.
He's on it. Yeah, it's on the limiter. Everything's sort of like over exaggerated as well. Sort of scrubs everything hard. Like, it's amazing to watch. But then, like you say, you've got the absolute opposite of that. Someone like a Terry Mack or a Roxanne, who's a little bit more
really can't.
Yeah, a gear or two higher everywhere.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Do you know what else was interesting as well? Good. We haven't even got past day one of my holiday, by the way.
Listen up, folks. If there's one thing I know about our listeners, it's that you are a bunch of go-getters. It's a new year, folks. And if you're anything like me, you've been making plans to make 2022 the best year ever. We're going to rip this thing to pieces. We are coming in hot. Got a fresh set of goals, organised calendars, maybe a gym membership. You got all these things written down and you're ready to attack. But don't you dare leave the house ready to sling dick without a fresh set of nuts. Simple. I took care of my junk just the other day. So, why on earth would you want to be this guy when you can be this guy? Manscaped, we have you covered. First up, the all-new Performance 4.0 package includes the Lawnmower 4.0. This trimmer is insane. I dare say it's the best ball trimmer I've ever used. Maybe of all time. I don't know. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade. Reduces grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe TM, that's how you know it's legit, technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor. A new multifunction on-off switch can engage a travel lock, which is awesome if you do a lot of travelling, like our mate Olly Wilkins. And it gives you the ability to turn on the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. Oh, did I mention this trimmer is waterproof too? So if your partner has stopped letting you inside the house because you're shedding hair like some sort of stray dog, you can do your manscaping outdoors in the rain. What's not to love about that? Once you've done taking care of the family jewels, you gotta seal the deal with Manscaped's liquid formulations. Their crop preserver ball deodorant for before leaving the house, and their crop reviver ball toner for a mid-ride ball check. That's right. Trust me when I say this, fellas, your balls will thank you. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0. The Manscaped boxers and their Shed travel bag. This thing is legit. Just look at it. Bring your comfort and boxers to another level. Now here's what I'm going to do for you folks. I'm going to make your day. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code Ride Companion 20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping. Comes straight to your door for free. You don't have to drive anywhere, do anything. No crazy business. No meeting someone on the corner, exchanging things like a dodgy little druggie dealer. No, free shipping to your door. Your balls have been through enough in 2021, folks. Treat them with a bit of respect. Treat them with the best tools for the family jewels. Manscaped. Also, you're going to be helping support the podcast too. And that means more to us than any nuts in the world.
They're not going well. But the other thing that was interesting was how horrible the crashes are in real life. Because you watch them and just like the problem with these sports where you have a full face on is it becomes less human. And you know, in Supercross, a lot of them are pretty young. And there was a really bad crash right in front of us on the triple. I don't know if you saw it. I can't remember the dude's name. It was where Hunter Lawrence doubled out of the first turn in the heat race. They had to cancel the heat race. Kid comes off really bad.
I didn't see that because it wasn't on TV.
Go, yeah. And it was right in front of you, and just like, you know, it reminded me of Rampage actually. The bits that you don't see are just so unpleasant, and just the clarity after a crash, you're just like, whoa, this is actually dangerous. And there was a double arm break in the whoops as well that we saw.
Yeah, there was. Colt Nichols.
We saw that. That sucked. That was, you know, and it's just silence afterwards, and they get the asterisk medical crew or whatever it is in there, and then you can like hear the medical crew being like,
the clatter and the bangs as well, though.
Being like, fucking hell, we need to get it. You know, like you can hear the worry and the upset, and then the kid they get eventually when it's safe, they get the helmet off, because obviously that medical crew has to. That scared me as well, because one of the crashes he came off, and you're just like, fuck, you're in a stadium, there's all these people watching, there's all these cameras on you. You can't fuck up, you can't get it wrong. True. You know, like really, True. It's so nice. Yeah. It's different to like if you just come across a mate in the woods. Imagine if they did
that with the St. John's.
Yeah.
Imagine. Like, stand him up. It'll be okay.
Stand him up. It's like that races, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, fucking mad.
So that
he'll walk
that
it
medical
off.
crew, you can tell they're really like, you know, they have to really be dialed, because it's just too centre stage. It's literally like every injury that they have to deal with is just like a test for them, isn't it? But poor kid got
big time.
Wheeled off, and as soon as the helmet comes off, like with a helmet on, goggles on, all the jerseys, all the sponsors, the boots, the bike, you just look like a gnarly dude. Yeah. Take the helmet off, it's actually like a lot of them are like jockeys. They're small dudes. I went to TLD on another day, and I picked up a jersey. It's one of Barcia's jerseys. Thing's tiny.
Yeah,
really small guys.
I think this is a rabbit hole we could go down forever, but it's weird how the fit and stuff's changed as well. I find that so interesting now. Like motocross is kind of like getting a bit skin suited,
isn't it?
Yeah. They did used to look a bit burlier. The helmets were probably a bit bigger, a bit more padding, and now everything's sort of getting, especially with maybe nips and whatever, everything's getting like slimmer. And Barcia's girlfriend Amber posted a photo, and I had to comment because you can literally see Barcia's cock and balls like it's right there. Yeah, and I was like, dude, these moto pants are getting tight these days. You know,
his are all like special cut as well. I was amazed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah. Well, interesting. The tour.
Right.
I actually dad cammed a tour. I don't know if it's something that people would like to see, but I think it would be interesting.
Oh, fuck
I
yeah,
did it.
dude.
So we're skipping a day now because that's how fucking
Please.
long this holiday chat could go on for. I went to Troy Lee for the day, and it was absolutely amazing. It was so cool. We got the full tour of the paint shop, which is one of the sickest things you can do. Because how cool is...
Yeah, not many people
I
get
know
in
I'm
there,
doing
eh?
I'm doing an unfair advert here, and I shouldn't, but I'm a big Troy Lee fan regardless of whether I ride for him, and I always have been. And how rad it is to have a company that is a bloke's name who started painting helmets all those years ago.
Yeah.
And you've got all of the
Super
memorabilia from everything, from F1 drivers, NFL players, hockey players. You've got like helmets everywhere. You've got Brian Lope's helmet. You've got everything, you know. And then you've got current
It's
helmets
some spot,
still
isn't
going
it?
on. You know, I've seen Lucas Shaw's new lids. I've seen this. I've seen that. It's so cool, dude. It really is.
It is, dude. It's some place. Like, again, if you haven't been, I mean, I was lucky enough to go and take a tour around a few times. I used to take trips there. But like all the history in there, they've got
so
Pastrana,
sick,
sort of like bar spin bikes were in
Yeah,
there.
the bar spin bike.
Just so much cool
It's actually
shit going
closed
on.
to public now, I think. I don't know whether it's a coronavirus thing or what.
What that retail
The one in
shop?
Corona, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, is
it's
it?
no longer...
Oh wow.
But it was so rad anyway. And we had like a paint shop tour, and then you see all of the prep for the moto team. You see the room where the moto team used to live out of. They've got their own area now. It was just like a full tour. And Tim Daniels is who I deal with at TLD. He's my like go-to guy for stuff, and it was just really cool to hang out with him a bit. You know, I always see him on like fleeting visits. He gave us a full tour.
Okay.
It's cool to like. Yeah,
That's
it was
awesome,
really
man.
cool.
Did you get to see Stick at all? Did you see
No,
Stick out there?
Stick was busy with the virus. Oh man, it's so boring,
really?
isn't it? The fucking
Yeah.
COVID-19.
I got a question for you then.
Yeah, go on.
Olly Wilkins Troy Lee helmet. Painted helmet, man. What's going on? Why haven't you done a
Gutted, dude.
Siggy
So-
helmet? Oh, not a Siggy,
So we
but
were
like
going to do it.
a
I'll
Troy
tell you
Lee
whose
helmet.
fault that is. That's Justin Barcia's fault, because I was going to go in and we were going to
Fucking
do
Barcia,
a
man.
pinstripe job. I was going to do like one half I was going to be taught, and the other half was going to be done by a painter, because the painters are so fucking cool.
Wow.
Like, it's such a niche job, and they're so amazing. And when you see them do it, like, they have their hand and they're so steady. They're literally doing it freehand. It's incredible to watch. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And Barsha's helmet got rushed in for Oakland, so I got fucking chucked out. I got
bumped.
chucked to the side, dude. So no pinstriping for me. We'll do it next time. I was hyped for
Mate,
that.
get one
Got
out there,
to,
get it sent,
got
get
to.
it
It'd
done.
be wicked. How
Dude.
cool would that have been to have done
Yeah.
it with them, though? You know.
Yeah, really cool. Please get that video up.
Yeah,
I'd love to
Tim
see
had
that.
the helmet ready
Anyway,
for me. Everything. We had a painter booked in, but then Barsha went and nicked it.
Fucking Barcia, man.
What can you
Fucking
do? These
Barsha.
big timers, dog.
Oh,
These
well.
big timers. What can you do?
Yeah, I liked the little beef that he had with Jason Anderson.
I
Did you
didn't see that. No.
You know, so obviously Barcia took Ando out.
I mean,
in the main.
I've got to say, being there for the day, people say Bam Bam's not Bam Bam anymore. I don't know. He seems to take out a lot of people, and like this is coming from I'm a mountain biker. I appreciate I don't know what I'm watching as much. You know, I understand the science of a pass, but Justin seems to take out a lot of people, put them over the top of berms, make them pull out of triples.
Really?
Yeah, dude,
Clever.
fucking a lot. It's
So-
sick.
So Barcia took Ando out
Big
in the
fan,
main.
by the way, yeah.
It's the same. Ando then tweeted or whatever, put a photo up and said, you know, hopefully you buy some Team Fried merch with that paycheck, with the bonus check for the podium, because Ando would have made podium. And then Barcia posted a photo of going on the Team Fried website, buying some merch, and then he wore it at Oakland as well. I thought it was pretty funny. Like, they've made a bit of a joke about it. But what I also like at the moment is Supercross in general are doing more like they just seem on it
They
this
are.
year for some reason.
We
like,
noticed it when we were there.
Like, they're talking about actual storylines. They put up like an animation sort of thing on their Instagram. I don't know if you saw it, where it was like Mookie
And they're playing on the characters of it. Yeah, they were dancing and stuff.
Exactly, which
Yeah.
is what it needs, man.
It's like the Drive to
what it
Survive
needs.
approach, because you can see how Drive to Survive has just turned that sport around. Like, knowing people's characters and knowing who they are and what they're like is so important. It's literally one part of it now being good. You know what I mean? It is. It's one part of it.
Yeah. You've got to have social. You've got to be on it with that stuff.
Good. Yeah. It's really cool. I really liked it, actually.
Good.
Yeah.
I want to know about the basketball game too. First
best,
NBA game, or
I've been to an NBA game before, but I've never been to a Lakers game, and I haven't been to a Lakers game where LeBron is playing. You know, I'm a big fan of LeBron, but I don't necessarily want to watch him play. But seeing him there, it was fucking cool. Like, he really carried the team. They had a shit night at LA, and then seeing Ja Morant play, who's like a young super athlete. Like, it's insane how high the dude jumps, and seeing some of the plays that I watch on Instagram on House of Highlights in person was really sick. I tell you what was cool about the LA game, right? Again, because we were whirlwinding so hard, we did like a massive ride, got back to the bottom, calculated there was like fucking 9 minutes between us making, driving to the location. We had 9 minutes to get a ticket, and then we could watch the tip. It was like so on edge. The tickets themselves are fucking insane. Like, they're so expensive.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how did you get?
You got killer tickets. We got like V.I.P tickets. You turn up at the door and you have one of those touts, the ticket tout dudes on the street.
Yeah.
And you just go and talk to them, haggle with them. It was $250, and he was like, yeah. The whole time it's happening, I'm sort of half thinking, like, we're being ripped off here. I know we're being ripped off here. There's no way this is this easy. Like, these are $450 tickets each, and we're getting them for $250. Yeah. Why? Like, why is this? Is it because we just turned up just before the game, and that's risky in itself? Like, what's going on? And the guy's going like, yeah, you got waiter service in these tickets. These tickets are no joke. They're VIP. I'm like, okay, so we've paid. We've done the app thing with Cammy had the app. And it seems legit, and then it's only when we actually walk to them that we actually accept. All of us are the same. We're all like waiting for the big stinger, the big.
You pay cash, obviously.
Yeah, you
as
pay
well,
cash
so
to a dude in the street. Yeah, it's quite.
Yeah,
I don't know why it feels sketchy. It's because it's
dude?
just one of those guys on the corner that look like, like they got something to sell. Like, that's all it looks like. But ultimately, so we got really good tickets.
I've never understood that hustle, right? What is that hustle?
Guess,
so if they're $450 tickets, why are they $250? It doesn't.
Well, I guess if you buy them pre-season in bulk, you get them for way less. Yeah. And I
think that's what they do.
So I think they buy, or they buy season tickets for seats, or they. I don't really understand, but I think if you buy in advance, because there's no way of telling whether the team's playing well or whether. Really, like LA are having a bad year this year, and Grizzlies are having a really good year. So Grizzly tickets, what they thought they were going to be worth at the start of the year, they're now worth way more. They've got a young superstar, and they're really playing well. So I think wherever you've got a gap there, that's where people make money, and especially on the streets, they know that gamble is it's sick though, isn't it?
Yeah. So did you have a limit? What you'd have paid to go in? What were you working
my
with?
limit was always going to be a bit higher than everyone else's. Like, I really fucking love basketball, so it was so sick to go and see LeBron. Like, LA is just immense. It's one of those. I think it's like a top 4 spending team. So if you don't, I appreciate a lot of our listeners don't care about basketball, but to put it in perspective, it means that you've got players on the bench that don't start that are getting paid $22 million for the season. It's like it's so insane. It's like people's insurance policies on their bloody wrists, for instance, are more than any mountain biker in the world gets paid. I don't know. I just find ever. Ever. Yeah. It's just so interesting to me. It's such and I obviously love the sport. So,
and I guess it's kind of obvious when you're there that you see that there's a lot of money, sort of involved. I guess the show before it looked incredible. Just the whole
it was mad.
vibe,
it was really sick actually, because I went to Supercross and the night before, and then went to the Lakers game after, and I was sat next to Jordan, and Jordan's never watched any sport other than motocross. Like, he's proper motocross through and through. Him and his whole family, and like that's all he's ever known is motocross. So it was quite funny. Sat next to him at the Lakers game. Obviously, it's Supercross. Like, I feel like a squid. Like, anything I ask him is like a no question. what gear do you
This
go
was
in the
your
walks?
way of,
He's
like-
third or fourth, you dick. You know, it's like just look with your eyes. You can see. I can't see anything. I don't know what I'm looking at. You know. And then it was it was the same for him at the basketball.
Cool.
You know,
Good on those guys, I guess, for going with
yeah.
it.
Oh,
You
they
know,
loved it. It's hard not to do this a Lakers game. You know, it's like it is really quite something when you're there. It's wicked.
Yeah. Sold out?
Nearly. You know, it looked.
I can just imagine that it'd just be so hard to go to a Lakers
Christina
game.
Aguilera was there, dude. Yeah,
Really?
And also I've already told you this, but I had breakfast with it at the same breakfast place as Eva Longoria, and I knew she was famous when I saw her, and I don't know who Eva Longoria really is, but I knew it was Eva Longoria.
There's a vibe that they give off.
Yeah,
because I don't. If she like walked into my house now naked and sat on my face, I wouldn't know who Eva Longoria is. It a girl? It is a girl, isn't it? Yeah, Eva. I wouldn't know who Eva Longoria is.
It'd be weird, dude, if she got all the way to sitting on your face and then you knew. You know? Oh!
Yeah.
Eva! Bloody hell, I haven't seen you in ages. It's you. I recognise that
I have no
smell
idea.
anywhere.
I have no idea, dude. She could serve me in Aldi and I wouldn't.
No, I didn't think I
know.
knew who she was, and then I looked her up, but it was her. But
Yeah.
but she had that
Lord of the Rings.
poor girl had that thing where she's just looking at the ground. She's like the whole time like, don't fucking talk to me, don't talk to me. Oh no, he knows who I am.
really?
Oh no, fuck's sake, yeah. Poor things walking around Laguna.
must
It's
be horrible.
boring, dude. It must be boring. Yeah, must be.
Slightly different. I just want to mention this because it is really interesting. On a slightly different note, Robbie Williams,
Yeah.
massive megastar, right? He did Theo Von's podcast last week.
Did he?
But it's but it's so interesting because he's never got that big in America,
Yeah.
so he kind of lives a bit of a normal life, and it's obvious that Theo has no real clue who this guy is.
He did that and through it. Oh, they must know that one though, right?
That's high. Yeah, that one. Maybe. Dude, so he's on. So there's Robbie Williams.
Horrible song. Makes me
Horrible.
sad, that song, yeah.
The-
It makes me
shit.
sad that someone likes that song.
All
yeah,
Robbie
it's
stuff.
really horrible
shit.
artist, yeah. Carry on.
So there's Robbie Williams and his mate who's a comedian, and that must be the
Oh,
connection.
okay.
Who's an Irish comedian.
Right.
But it was such an interesting conversation.
Was it? Yeah.
If anyone has, because you can tell Theo doesn't really
Better
know him,
almost,
so he's
yeah.
asking him. He's like, "What's the most expensive thing you've ever bought?" And Robbie's like, "Oh, I bought this 30,000 square foot house in LA." And he's like, "What?" He has no understanding of how.
So Theo's not
big
really done
this
like
guy
any
was.
research or anything.
No research, like nothing on him, dude. He
I
hasn't
kind of
got
think
a
it'd
clue.
be better.
And
I
it's
feel
just
like we
super
could have people
interesting.
on that we didn't know. Well, we have had people on that we didn't know, like
Yeah.
Spiteball Chris, for instance. It would be
it's fine.
fascinating.
Sometimes it's
Yeah,
better. It is better. And he's asking him these questions that you just and Robbie's been really open about a lot
Yeah.
of his stuff. He's like, he said something like, "Oh, I went for breakfast this morning in my house, in my kitchen, and there was 8 people, and I didn't know any of them. They were all just in my house. They all work for me, and it's just like there's all this stuff that
is
you would
weird,
never know
isn't it?
about
Robbie
him.
Williams.
It's good, man.
So
It's
what's
really
he up
good.
to these
It's
days?
really
Robbie?
interesting.
I know we're doing sort of like a second-hand podcast here, but what?
Yeah, I think he's just sort of, by the looks of things, he's just chilling. He just lives in LA because he's not as well known out there, and he can just sort of do his
So
thing.
who are these 8 people working for him? What does he do? Like, what does he sell?
Well, he was talking about the fact that he bought this massive
Yeah.
house, owns this huge property, a couple of huge properties, and that the amount of uptake that they take to keep these things running. He says, my biggest expense is labour, it's people. So he's got gardeners and chefs
right,
and
got you, yeah.
like all these
Goodness.
people in his house, cleaners and stuff that. I can't remember how many toilets he said he had, dude, but it was fucking
Really?
insane. He's like, I got 32 bathrooms in my house. We were like,
Fucking hell.
what? It's really good.
I'm sure
it's
he's an
good.
interesting bloke. He's always annoyed me. He's always a bit cheeky, chappy, irritated. It's always irritated me. That vibes.
He's quite narcissistic. He's definitely a narcissist.
Is he? Yeah.
Which is good for a podcast because he wants to talk about himself
really?
and tell you
Yeah.
how popular he is and like.
Really?
It's good. Honestly, I don't really think anything about Robbie Williams, but when I saw he was on that, I thought
He's lived an
I'll check
interesting
that out.
life. You can't deny it, can you? I'm sorry. I'm looking at his Instagram
Fuck yeah.
there. That's really bad.
Super.
Yeah, what an
interesting
interesting life.
mate.
Because I guess
Super
like,
interesting. Yeah, highly recommend.
yeah, I
listen to
will
that. It's
do. All
good.
right, that's your listening for today, is it?
Yeah, can be.
My
Can be.
listening is. My watching was just going to be Supercross, to be honest, because also that soft white underbelly I want to fucking hype it again because I haven't stopped. I've been in airports and I've just been watching, and it's incredible. It's so good. It's so worth watching. So I'm gonna hype that one again.
I did watch one.
Did you enjoy it? It doesn't get everyone.
Did enjoy it.
Like George.
Yeah, I did
George
enjoy it.
doesn't get them. My mum's caught the bug though, and she's just watching every single one and every single follow up from each of these people that he's trying to help, and it really got me.
That's cool.
And then
I got another listing that I want to
Please
throw in
do,
there because that
'cause I'm
originally
sucking,
wasn't
yeah.
good. Did you ever like the TV show called Face Jacker?
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
No, Phone
Yeah,
Jacker.
yeah.
Phone Jacker. Prank phone calls. There's a Phone Jacker podcast and it's amazing.
Oh really? Quite a good.
Yeah, it's like
It was really, it was
15
almost
minutes
quite
long.
arty, wasn't it? Phone Jacker, because they did the animations on the screen.
The animations with it. Yeah, so he just does prank phone calls as those characters, but I like prank
wicked,
phone calls.
yeah.
So,
Oh, check that out.
we are pretty time sensitive
sorry,
today.
dude.
And I'd love to sit here and talk about your holiday even more. I really would,
about
genuinely.
narcissists. I've just fucking.
And we got to
Got
do
them off.
a few listener questions, but there is something, there is something that I wanted to mention.
Sure
'Cause I think
thing.
it's quite a big story, sort of in our
Let's
industry.
hear it.
Travis Pastrana has moved away from Red Bull,
Not for the first time. No.
and apparently not. I don't know. I think it's for the first time, but I might be wrong, and I'd
I
love
thought
to
it
know
wasn't
if
for the
anyone's
first
got any
time, 'cause-
comments on that. Let's hear it.
So I
below.
thought he ran a year with Nitro Circus helmet, and then he did one of those New Year's Eve things, and he had a Red Bull one on again. So I thought he.
Right.
Anyway, please carry on with what you were going to say.
Either way, Red Bull Pastrana
Yeah.
synonymous,
So
right?
what's he got in his head
You
now?
know, all the projects. He's actually signed with Black Rifle Coffee Company.
There you go.
So Black Rifle are pretty big as well these days, it looks like. Not so much here, we don't really see it, I don't think. But
they
what
give
I
money
thought
to
was really interesting
veterans,
is...
don't they? They're very cool, yeah.
Yeah. So it's run by two guys, I think. One of them's called Matt Bess, I believe. Either way, both of them have been on Joe Rogan's podcast a few times. And what I was thinking there, and this is probably a little bit silly, but I was like, could this be finally that we get an action sports person on the Joe Rogan podcast to talk about motocross and action sports? Because that is, you said it ages ago, it's one thing Rogan's off on. He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand it. But I'd love to see Travis Pastrana on the Joe Rogan podcast because I think it could be quite interesting.
He's a bloody interesting guy, isn't he? I'd love to hear him.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear him. You only ever see him like super high energy and like for 3 hours. I don't know if he could keep it up. He probably could if anyone could. But like,
Probably could.
you want to get a bit below that, don't you? You want to have him on and actually talk to him about actually things that he thinks, and not just be all just like, yeah, dude, fucking yeah. I don't know.
Jace at Gypsy Tales did an awesome
did he?
episode
And
with Travis. It was like one of his first ever episodes as well. I think it's one of those ones that's gone under the radar because it wasn't as big as what it is now. But they sat together for about 3 hours,
Really?
and Travis opened up about anything and everything. It's fucking awesome, man.
So that's
Like,
already
it's really
happened,
good,
yeah.
That's already happened. But I just think it's so interesting to move away from Red Bull. I mean, that contract must be worth a fortune. Like from a monetary standpoint, that must be worth he is to me, like Travis is almost like a poster boy for Red Bull. He's one of those guys, you know. He's him and him basically. To me, it's like that's Red Bull. He's helped build that Red Bull
Anytime
brand
it
in action
happens as
sports.
well, it's the sort of like the Wizard of Oz curtain is lifted a bit, isn't it? You know, because you sort of think I don't know. You just accept. Okay, ultimately, I don't want to shit on Red Bull because they do a lot of good stuff, but like, they're not. You know, it's a fizzy drink, right? And you don't need like it's not. It's actually irrelevant. And I'm not being. They do a lot of really good events, so they've made themselves important part of our sport. But actually, when you think about it, you hold them at a high. All I mean is you hold them at a higher value to our sport than they are. Would you agree?
Yeah.
No diss, but that you.
Yeah, I do agree. I think that you can't argue with the amount of money that they've put into mountain biking. If we're talking about mountain biking, especially with various events and athletes and stuff like that, I feel like that involvement is way more important than the actual product.
Absolutely,
I can live without the
absolutely.
drink, but I can't live without their involvement in a way.
Yeah, and when
for pushing the boundaries.
And also, it kind of acts almost as like a verified tick. You know, like those silly blue tick things on Instagram. It's almost like an in-person verified tick. Like an energy drink helmet is like it's like a thing, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Even a hat. You know, to see a hat, you know that it's a legit athlete. You know that they're in action sports or whatever.
So when someone
athlete.
chooses to take one off, it does mean something. Yep. It does. Or when someone gets kicked off of one, it means you're not in the current crop of these verified people that have the fizzy drink hats. I mean, it's pretty fucking bizarre.
I find this one super interesting. I find it so interesting with the Travis one because they won't have wanted to let that go easily, right? Yeah. Like he is the poster boy. He's like everything that Red Bull stand for in a way, right? Of pushing the boundaries and wings and whatever.
Being a neat guy.
Being a neat guy. So to go with a coffee company, it's kind of like, it's cool in a way because it does it take away that, you know, that prestige of Red Bull helmet that you can have another brand on there that is equally, maybe even doing more in a way for, I don't know, for the
problem is you can't just quickly
overall...
you can't just quickly knock up a helmet design and then it sticks. It doesn't work like that. I tell you what, there is a cleaner brand that's done very well for sticking their brand on a helmet. It's now become a thing. It's become its own version of a Red Bull helmet, which is very impressive. But others have tried and failed. Like you can't just you can't just do a helmet design and it be the same as a Red Bull or a Monster.
No, it's true.
It's not an easy thing to do, is it? So like.
It's crazy how they took over that space, isn't it? Such an important part of an athlete.
This black rifle helmet best not be a fucking black helmet because it won't
looks good.
Does it? Yeah, it needs to look good.
Yeah, the branding
needs to look good because
it's coffee. That's what I like about it. It's not a fizzy action sports fucking drink full of chemicals. It's just coffee and like you said, it gives back to veterans, and I think that's just a super interesting decision on Travis's part, no doubt as well. Financially wise, I guess Travis is like probably pretty set now. He probably doesn't need the big pressure and the Red Bull check coming in. Maybe, and I very much doubt he does stuff purely for money anymore. I think there's probably a lot more behind it.
It'd be interesting if
I just find it super interesting.
Like the things that you're into as you grow older. You know, like lawn care. You start running like lawn care fucking helmets.
Dude, that's you. Miracle Grow helmet, man. That's you.
Yeah, just like kitchen taps, like a company that does real trick kitchen taps. You got that down one arm.
I'd go Yorkshire tea, I think.
Yorkshire tea.
Yorkshire tea helmet.
I can't think of other stuff. Like classic car insurance. Always handy. It'd be good, wouldn't it? As you move on through your career, you stop sort of just doing
Manscaped.
True that. Like some sort of like company that does injections, like steroid injections. I just start running them as
true,
like a
you could do
sponsor.
That. Yeah, you could have NHS down the chin piece.
I need that. Yeah.
I could go air ambulance.
Yeah, you
or
could
something,
have air ambulance. That'd be quite trick, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we'd love to hear other people's suggestions in the comments. What would make a good helmet if you?
Because I'm 35 now. And like, what sort of grown-up shit could you have on you? You know, like a Waitrose helmet or a
Waitrose
Waitrose helmet. Because as I get older, I appreciate that more.
Yeah, Waitrose helmet.
Airport lounge. Cool, I like an airport lounge now. I never used to care.
You could have a big big Virgin
Sometimes
helmet.
Sometimes I wish I could Q-skip. Speedy boarding helmet. I'm not mad at it. Speedy boarding.
Just QR codes all over
it. What's the oldest shit that you like now? I appreciate you're on a time scale. We should go. What's the like the oldest, most boring old shit that you like? Let's say you run Birkenstocks or something. Something along those lines.
That's good. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of mine.
That's a good question, man. It's a good. I mean, having glasses makes me feel kind of old whenever I put those on. It's kind of, but now I actually don't mind wearing them, like because I can see way better. Yeah. God, I like a lot of old shit, dude. To be honest,
like old person.
I'm just
like
trying to think of an example.
What I really mean, like you know what I mean.
Things
satisfy you.
I've been partial to a brandy recently. I've been drinking a little bit of brandy in the
evening. There you go.
Yeah. That's old person shit,
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
What do I really like?
Dude, I feel like everything I do is kind of old.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's hard to separate it. Running, that's kind of an old person thing,
walking.
Isn't it? I'm doing a lot of running at the moment.
I'm a walker. I like a morning walk.
A lot of dog walks.
Not too bad for it. I'm not too bad for it, but I do like... I skipped going to the pub for this podcast, in fact. That's quite old person, isn't it?
Oh, mate. That is quite old person.
Still got a lot of things that are quite young and dumb.
Parents coming round for dinner after this.
Go.
That's old person stuff.
There you go.
That's old person
Yeah, I wonder
stuff.
out of our listeners what the oldest thing that someone does. You know what I mean by the oldest thing? Just the most like. I tell you what, if I had a rocking chair, yeah, there you go. That could be mine. You better believe when I get a porch,
A rocking chair.
Fucking rocking chair. Yeah. Have you been on a rocking chair? Life is good.
Yeah, the fucking
The days ago, yeah, really nice, aren't they? And if you mix up some of that
like a
rocking chair with some of those old person prescribed drugs, I can probably see how you could quite
Bit of
happily
Barry
bob
Manilow.
through a day. Just,
Oh man, those days will fly by.
Yeah.
Just on the porch, like I'd love to be that guy. Just sat on a porch, a little bit of music
chewing
on in the
tobacco.
background.
Ding.
Yeah, just doing some
Yeah.
dip. Oh, come on, dude. Little
Yeah.
brandy.
What would your porch overlook though?
Sat in the
I feel
sun.
like for what I can afford, it's going to overlook the village
Fields.
dump, and that's about all.
Yeah.
know?
That's basically what mine does overlook. Fucking
Yeah,
dump
it
site.
Oh, dearie me, dearie me.
Right, let's do a couple of list of questions.
Boots and cats
Bam,
and dogs.
bam, bam. Listen to questions. That was alright, man. I'm impressed. I did want to do. I'm going to do this. I know we're going to brush over it real quick, but I want to do it because it feels like the right thing to do. So we got a hit up through Instagram by a young lad. So we haven't done a sort of business shout out for a while. So here's just a really, really quick one. So there's a young guy. His Instagram handle is @ride.bike, I believe it is, and he's only like 13 or 14, and he started this brand making recycled plastic kickers. Like,
oh, how cool!
Kickers for. Yeah, really young, nice young lad. He's hit us up a few times, just said, like, loves the podcast. And, basically we just sorted him some mudguards out through Hook It and whatever and this, that and the other. And I thought, you know what, I just want to give him some props because I think anyone that's turned the pandemic into something positive is really cool. And the fact that he's super young and he's doing
what's his Instagram handle? Because I don't think it's ride.bike.
Is it not?
No.
Okay, hang on.
Let me tell you a
I'll
funny
find
story.
it,
I was on a beach break in Laguna, and there was a guy there, and he started Instagram living, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm here with the Grump." He was obviously a pro surfer or a skimboarder. And I couldn't remember. I recognised him a bit. Couldn't remember what his name was. He wasn't Blair Conklin. He's the other guy. Anyway, he had a salty something T-shirt on. I thought it said Salty Boys. So I'm looking up Salty Boys. Salty Boys is not a surf brand, it turns out. And then annoyingly, it's infiltrated. It's all like guys kissing, and now it's infiltrated my Instagram algorithm. And I spent some time in airports, and on the search function, now there's loads of guys kissing on it. Fucking algorithm. So now I'm like, with my algorithm, I'm like,
no, there's anything wrong with that, though.
Wrong
Let's
with
just
it,
stay
but
in the middle.
I don't want to look at the pictures of it. There's nothing wrong with it.
funny, man.
So now I'm like having conversations with my algorithm, like to my algorithm, I'm like, I promise you, I'm not gay. I promise you. I was trying to look up the guy, and then it's a shit show, dude.
I found it. It's Rise, RISE .bike. Rise.bike.
Nice.
And you'll see if you go on there, it's a super young guy, super young lad whose name is Felix, and he started this brand, and it's just, it's made out of recycled
Felix
plastic.
has got quite the setup. Wicked.
Yeah, it's cool. So, yes, a little shout out for him, man, because why not? Because he's young and he's doing something.
Felix. We need to get a code as well. We need to get a Ride Companion code.
Yeah, we could do that.
Charge all our listeners 15% more. Help Felix out.
What?
Oh, wicked! That's cool. They're 100% recycled as well. Well, good.
Yeah, he's doing it. He's doing something, which is better
Nice
than
one,
nothing.
Felix.
So,
Good
shout
on
out.
you.
Yeah, man. A couple of listener questions, and then I've really got to
Let's get you
roll.
out of it. What you?
Oh, and a quick shout out to T4 Broski and actually every single person that's reached out since we announced the winner and offered Brogan.
Yeah,
product.
there's a fair bit, isn't it? How cool is that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really, really nice. We've had bike shops reach out, offered to build the bike for free. We've had bike shops reach out and offer trade
So
accounts.
rad.
We've had tyres
So
donated.
rad.
So cool. So thank you, everyone. Like the podcast family
I need to
is
get on that.
super
Actually. I
legit.
need to get on that. It's still sat here.
Yeah, we'll get it gone tomorrow if that's okay. Monday if that's okay. 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 What we got here? Okay, at Curty77, what's the story behind the Wilkins gap / double?
Oh, that was cool.
Swinley?
That was years and years and years ago. I went up. It was a really long time ago. In fact, so this is a section. I think it's called Baby Maker, the trail at Swinley Forest, and it used to be 2 tables. And I'd heard about Larocco's Leap at which motocross track?
Washougal.
At Washougal. So I'd heard about.
It might not be. It's total guess.
Okay, I can't remember. I thought it was Glen Helen, but I don't think it is. I think it is another.
It's not
there
Glen
you
Helen.
go. So anyway, there's one called Larocco's Leap, and there were these 2 tables, and people had talked about doing it for ages, and I did it, and it was really gnarly. It was 2 tables. It was like a
Red
steep,
Bud.
Red Bud. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and it was a really steep landing, and at the time I was wearing like some old. I was riding for DMR, but I obviously wasn't doing my job properly because I was wearing like some old like moto jersey. I was like in fancy dress, and no one knew who had done it, and then we had to claim it, and we claimed it as Wilkins Leap.
Nice.
It's
Is it
still there. It is a shadow of its former self, I must say. I went the other day and I did the Wilkins Leap.
Right.
And it was sick, actually. I did it. And then as I was pushing back up, some other guy went, "No way, it's actually you." I thought there was no one else that would do that leap. I was like, it's actually stuck. The name's stuck. That's good,
awesome.
isn't it? Loads
Good
of people have done
vibes.
it now, though.
Yeah,
it's less
that's
of
cool.
a thing. Back in the day, it was gnarly.
Okay.
Next question. Let's do it.
That's great. At Matty Baker 1985, what element of mountain biking would you remove to make it better? It can't be the cost. What element of mountain biking would you remove? Don't forget, folks, comment below. What
Yeah.
element of mountain biking would you remove to make it better?
How can you make it better? Comment
I
below.
get rid of forums.
Yeah, there you go. Not a bad one. Pretty tough,
Get
isn't
rid
it?
of them.
Fairly negative, heavy,
Yeah, get rid of
heavy.
forum.
I feel heavy.
Get rid of forums.
I struggle to get rid of anything because if you go and do for me personally, if I do an uplift today, something's missing. So I can't even say I'll get rid of the uphills anymore. I like them. That's maybe goes back to a previous question we had. I'm getting old because I actually like it like a climb. I like earning my descent. What can you get rid of? Crashes suck.
Crashes suck.
I'm feeling mine now. Lower part of my body.
Bike washing. I feel like that sucks most of the time. Thankfully, Kinggood make it nice and easy, and so do Works. You get those 2 products in your life, you're golden.
Kinggood
but
times Works.
ultimately, it does suck. I don't
Yeah,
like it.
cleaning.
I wish we had like a bike wash machine. You should have like a little box. You just push your bike in.
That'd
Does
be
all
cool,
the things.
wouldn't it? That would be cool.
Yeah, little bike wash.
Solid idea. Yeah, I can't. I don't know if I can improve on it. It's fantastic. Really enjoy it. Did it today. Loved it. Fucking couldn't get enough of it.
Well done. I was going to do it today, but instead just pick plastic out of a river.
What do you do?
At Johnny MCC, how's the Merc doing? Merc's still golden, bro. Merc's golden. Second favourite German.
Beautiful, beautiful model. It's lovely.
Yeah, stunning.
Hey, by the way, I saw 32 G-Wagons whilst I was in Laguna, and that's pretty weird that I counted, yes, but 32 is a lot.
Yeah, it is weird. It is a lot. God, there's a lot of questions. Let's just do one more. At Let's Get High 420. Do you choose? It's always a good one.
Man.
He's been in the game for a while
Let's
as
Get
well,
High
so shout out to
420,
Let's
dude.
Get High
Solid
420.
name.
Sesh with a big crew mashing sections or big crew on the all-day lapathon? What's more fun?
Big crew lapping. I don't know with a big crew. I'm not a very big crew guy. I'll be honest. Prefer a more intimate crew.
I prefer a session on something. Choose 2 corners or 3 corners
Yeah.
and just ride the shit out of them for ages.
A big crew on a long one would
That's
be a
me.
nightmare as well because you'd have to wait for everyone and stuff.
This is going to be a
Yeah,
punny.
let's do. I've just done a set.
Unless it's a
I've
Christmas
just done
ride.
a sesh with a
then-
big crew. Yeah, that was good. That was actually a good example of a ride, wasn't it? We didn't get all like discombobulated and separated. It was good.
No,
Yeah.
good crew that. Good size
Yeah,
crew,
yeah,
really.
yeah,
Not too
absolutely,
much,
yeah.
not too little.
So yeah, I'm going to go session as well.
Good. Yeah, I mean, there's loads more, but I think we should wrap it at that if that's cool. We made it through.
I think so.
We've talked
We'll
about
talk about the
holidays
rest
in
of-
California and a lot
Rest
of
the
moto.
holiday.
Almost the moto show. What should we call this one?
Moto show.
What should we call it? The moto show.
We should. Yeah, you probably need help doing the names. You must be sick of it by now. I should help you out.
It's
a bit.
pretty tough. But...
We talked about some of Olly's holiday. It could be Lolliday.
Yeah,
Olly Day.
Lolliday.
Lolliday.
Olly Day.
Another one.
We'll go Olly Day. There we go. We'll go Olly Day. If you've got a better name suggestion, leave it below, folks.
Well,
we might change it.
Too late.
It's too late. Got a guest coming on hopefully next week.
We need some guests. Let's get some guests on.
Hopefully next week. He was going to come today. Jono Jones.
Jono was. Oh, that would have been good. He's a new teammate.
Yeah.
Goodyear teammate now.
Exactly. Figured we'd get him on, have a chat.
Please, he's a great guest.
So yeah, Jono's
many
hopefully
times
coming
has he
on
been
next
on?
week, folks. So we'll keep you posted.
Jono's repeat guest.
I've done like a couple of. I've done one episode with him, I think, and then we've had him on the lockdown
so
before once, maybe
I was
twice.
gonna say, I think he was a repeat.
But we've not done it on the new show,
No.
like with a bit more organisation
so organised
and
now,
producers.
Yeah, we're so
Yeah.
high end now.
So I reckon we'll have a good
Brilliant.
one.
Look
Let's get
forward
Jono
to
on, and there's a few other people lined up. But yeah, let's get Jono on hopefully next
That's
week.
fantastic. Thanks for listening.
And yeah, thank you everybody. We appreciate
Yeah.
the shit out of you. Be safe out there.
Yeah,
have a
good
great week.
Enjoy yourselves.
Enjoy it.